So yeah, each week I've been breaking down one of the aspects of the practice, and the one that I talked about this week is really the idea of attunement to somebody else's body and how to allow your nervous system to listen to somebody else's nervous system. And a big part of that is really about not doing and not trying to make anything happen, and really listening to the communication that bodies are just making with each other anyway, right? And that when we really rest and we don't try to make something different happen, our bodies naturally co-regulate, right? It is a process that our bodies know how to do, and we don't have to effort to try to make that happen. Actually feeling like we need to do something to try to change it, or we're sort of scared of the process, so we pull back or pull away or do something to stop it, right? Are the things that we do to get in the way of a natural process that wants to happen. But one of the things that is important is to learn how to be aware of each other, how to be present with each other, and to listen to what is already happening. Because the thing that our systems really crave on some level, especially in terms of attachment repair, is knowing that somebody else's presence is with us in a very open way. So if we're kind of checked out, your partner notices that. They're like, hey, where are you? You don't seem present in some way. So learning how to be present and how to listen kind of communicates to the other person like, hey, I'm here, right? And then once you're both there, it's allowing whatever is coming up and whatever needs to happen and however your systems want to dance and regulate with each other, that will happen naturally. And the idea is, one of the things that heals the attachment system is the feeling of being in connection with another person, being able to rest and feel safe, and to feel a sense of well-being or of warmth or of ease, or this kind of a yummy energy that starts to fill your body and flow back and forth between your partner. And when you can learn how to let that in and let it nourish your system, that's sort of the medicine that heals the attachment system that maybe has been without that for a long time and sort of needs to drink. I think there's, people have described their experience with this practice as it's like I've been thirsty for a long time and I've finally been able to drink and take a sip. And so I hope that you are able to drink in and to relieve your thirst in tonight's practice. So we'll go ahead and get started. I do not have a physical partner today, but my body pillow is going to be my partner this evening. And so as we're settling in, take a little bit of time to just negotiate with your partner how you want to be in contact, whether it's spooning, whether you're facing each other, and whether one person has their back to the other person, whether you're just laying next to each other and holding hands, right? And anything is fine. And see if you can negotiate with each other and find out kind of how much contact will allow you to really rest and be in stillness with each other, right? Sometimes if you're too close, you might need a little bit of space halfway in between. And if you're too far away, you might want to come a little closer. So just kind of knowing for yourself how close is feeling right for now. And then once you have your position all settled, you can start to close your eyes. Take a few relaxing out breaths to let your system settle. And we begin this practice with connecting to yourself. So even though you're here with a partner and you're already cuddling and you're already feeling each other's presence and each other's bodies, right? Just notice how you're doing right now. Notice what it's like to keep your attention with yourself, even as you're here in connection with your partner. Notice any places where your body is holding tension. And whatever is easy to relax and let go with an out breath, see if you can just soften any tension that you're holding. As if the tension melts down into the earth as you breathe out. And also begin to notice that the earth is holding you. Notice the places where your body is making contact with the bed or whatever it is that you're laying on. And see if you can let your body yield into the bed. As you release tension in your body, there's a kind of trust that as you yield into the earth, that the earth is going to rise up to meet you. And in addition to being held by your partner, you're also held by the earth. And no matter what's going on with your partner, you can always tune in to that sense of the earth holding you. Beginning by co-regulating with the earth. And noticing that the frequency of the earth is slow, that there's a depth to it. That as your breathing starts to slow down, your nervous system starts to slow down, that the earth is holding and supporting you. And at any point in the practice, if you lose that connection, if you lose that awareness that the earth is holding you, allow yourself to come back to that, and to bring it back in. And then from that place of both of you being held by the earth together, start to allow your awareness to fill your own body. To include your torso, your arms and legs, and up into the head. Notice if there's any subtle sensations or movements of energy, or maybe just a sense of solidness. And as your awareness fills your body, also notice where your center is. One of the main practices of really looking at how our attachment patterns show up is what our habit is of leaning either forward from our center or leaning back from our center. That when we rest in our own center, we have access to that place of security inside of us. And that when we lean forward from our center, we tend to be a little bit anxious. And when we lean back, we tend to be a little bit avoidant or frozen or cold. And so sometimes just finding our own center, bringing a little bit of balance to whatever our patterns are, helps our systems to feel secure in ourself. And so just notice where your center is. And then without losing the awareness of your center, start to notice the places where you are making contact with your partner. Where your arms are touching, where your bodies are touching. The places where there's a lot of contact or pressure, the places where there's a light contact or pressure. You're starting to expand your awareness out from your center to notice the places where you come in contact with your partner. And just start to bring some curiosity to what you feel at those places of contact. Is it warm? Is there a little tingling sensation? Notice what it feels like right at those places of contact. And see if you can start to listen to the exchange that's happening at those places of contact. Now, without needing to do anything, you're being held by the earth, you're grounded in your own center. You're letting your body rest and slow down. And then you're just listening. Not listening with your ears, but listening with your whole body. Listening to the communication that your nervous systems are already making with each other. Maybe there are certain places where you feel a little inflow of energy, of warmth. Maybe there are places where you feel a little outflow. And that your body knows how to find balance with each other. where there are places that need to receive, where there are places that have an abundance to give. And all of that happens on its own. And so you're just being witness to that. You're actually more than just witnessing it, you're feeling it, you're embodying it. You're noticing what is already happening. As you start to have that experience of listening to your partner's nervous system through the exchange of energy that's happening at the places where you make contact. You're listening to your own nervous system by staying in your own center. And then see if you can notice the experience of your partner listening to you. You feel your partner present with themselves, and they're listening present with you. And you're both listening to each other with your bodies, from your bodies. And for you, just listening at the points of contact and the place where your bodies are touching might be your way in. It might be the way that you listen. For others of us, you might be able to expand your awareness out from your own center to really include the entirety of your partner's body. You can not only feel what's happening at the places where your bodies are touching, but it's almost as if you can feel into the entirety of your partner's body. That your nervous system extends into theirs. Right? There might even be an experience of not being able to tell where your body ends and their body begins. That it's just one nervous system. Right? But even if that's the case, see if you can still stay somewhat connected to your own center. So you're not losing yourself entirely, but you can let the exchange of energy happen throughout your whole body and throughout their whole body. Expanding from your own center to include their body in your awareness. trusting the natural intelligence of your own bodies, of your own nervous systems. To find that balance with each other, to find that place where you can rest. And if you feel a sense of well-being, a sense of warmth, a feeling of nourishment, of being deeply present with yourself, of being held by the earth, of feeling your partner deeply listening to your body, a sense that you're not alone, that there's someone else here with you, and that it's safe, and that you can rest together. And allow yourself to drink whatever quality of well-being, of warmth, of a bright light, allowing that nourishment to fill your body, to pour into the cracks that are thirsty. And doing that not by efforting, but by allowing, by letting go even more. In whatever way it just intuitively makes sense to you, just see if you can communicate to your partner, I'm here. Whether that's holding them just a little bit more, just kind of giving a little squeeze, right? Maybe it's just with your awareness and just with your presence. And see if you can receive that. And your partner is here with you. And you're here with yourself. And so I'll give us a little bit of time and space and silence to just continue to be with whatever is already naturally occurring. Resting, enjoying, receiving. And I'll come back in a few minutes to slowly start to transition. But until then, just enjoy whatever space is already happening. Feeling held by the earth, connected to your own center, awareness filling your own body, attuning, listening at the places where your body is making contact, awareness extending to include your partner, receiving the nourishment of well-being, of deep rest. So in a few moments, we're going to begin to transition. You don't have to disconnect from your partner, but we're going to start to learn what it's like to slowly ease in to this kind of deep connection and attunement with each other. And when you have that connection, you don't want to end it or pull out of it too abruptly. You want to also slowly ease out and do it together so that one person isn't pulling away from the other person, but that you're both slowly disconnecting together. And so taking as much time as you would like, moving as slow as you can, see if you can just start to pull your energy back into yourself. To slowly start to bring your awareness more and more to your own body, rather than feeling really extended throughout your partner's body. Right? You're still in contact, you're still in connection, you're still with each other. But just as slow as you can, letting your awareness and your energy come back into yourself. Right? And noticing what that's like for you. Does it feel easy to come back to yourself? Do you feel a sense of relief? Is it hard to let go? And just noticing. Remembering that the earth is still holding you, that you've already received the nourishment from this practice and you get to keep that. You get to reconnect to that in your own system. And maybe starting to notice the contrast of still cuddling, still connecting, right? But mostly focusing on your own body, on your own experience. Noticing the difference of maybe lying together, but being in yourself, versus the lying together and really extending throughout into your partner and listening. And then when you feel back in your own center, in your own body, connected with yourself, you can start to slowly roll away from each other, slowly start to move your body, and just getting a little bit more space. And you can still stay connected, maybe holding hands or having your shoulders next to each other, but noticing what it's like to get a little bit more physical space, coming even further back into yourself. And then if you'd like to separate physically altogether, you can choose to do that. If you want to stay connected, just touching in some way, you can choose to do that too. And we'll start to wind down this particular practice. And so, you might be in a very nonverbal place right now, Maybe not a lot of movement. Maybe you want to stay slow or connected.